Hello folks, welcome back to Bro Do It Yourself. It is February the 5th, about a quarter after 12 in the afternoon. It's really nice outside after we had a cold snap. We've had a couple of decent weather days. I have my videographer wife with me today, and what we're going to talk about is this finishing up on the lighting. Well, it'll be so much better. I can even stop yelling now. My father, before he passed, for years and years, had this garage set up, and we did just amazing amounts of work on cars. A lot of engine bay work. Everybody knows what that is. It's a 500 watt halogen. And he had it hooked up to this slider like that. And it would shine down in an engine bay. And it was amazing. And I mean, we did, it was almost a necessity. Back then, we had incandescent trouble lamps, shop lamps. They were heavy duty. And that was about it. You had incandescent lamps. And then this thing here. We didn't have the availability of any of the LED technology. Or I think it might have been fluorescence early on, or later on. Not early on, because early on, this was about as good as you could get. And it really... it performed. It did its work. But I'm 6'4", and I could feel this thing on the back of my neck. Well, it didn't matter if it was back here or 500 watts bearing down on you. It was like being in a tanning booth. So I was going to utilize that same system, and I got to thinking after I did all this Vapor type lighting. I thought, I probably should go LED again. So I'm going to make it a quick rundown. I ordered 2 HDX work lamps. I think they were 1200 lumen from Harbor Freight, or from Home Depot. And I canceled the order, and then I went back and reordered, and I was playing ping pong in my mind because I was looking at a Snap-on, I was looking at Milwaukee, I was looking at DeWalt. And finally, I was really hooked into this Husky 2000 lumen offering. I was going to grab a couple of those, but I'm standing up there trying to decide between the 2000 lumen Husky and the 3500 lumen Husky. They didn't have the 2000 lumens, so I was going to run, to another Home Depot about 8 miles, 10 miles away. And I thought, well, before I do that, because I'm trying to find a coiled cord that I can go from this switch application, which is made specifically for this application and only. These two 15 amp receptacles are made for this application. And ideally, what I was thinking long term is I'll have 2 lights here. That way I won't have my big head making a big shadow in an engine bay. They'll kind of be off to either side. So I was going to run down to Home Depot. I thought, well, I'll stop at a thrift store. The same St. Vincent de Paul I took all my DeWalt tools to. And I started there. Long story short, I went to 2 or 3 thrift shops. But at the St. Vincent de Paul in Mason, there's a Harbor Freight right next to it. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to unbox this Braun. And believe me, I understand. And the thing about it is I've not seen a good video on the Braun 2000 lumen corded LED work light. These things are $29.99 a piece. And the thing that really got me, I was really led down the road, was it says right here, and I don't know if it's dimmable. I would imagine it's not, because they would probably advertise that. But it does say super bright, impact resistant, lower surface temperature than incandescence, and then beam distance is 140 feet in high mode. And I was thinking, oh man, that would be awesome if it had a low, medium, and high mode, because it doesn't have a dimmer function. Or I don't even know if you could add a dimmer function. And what I think I'll do is, out of these 2, I'll comes in this box. Out of these two, I'll just click one on if I want to dim or light. So there's not a whole lot of information in here. There's just enough to get you by. It tells you, you know, the basics, the bare necessities. It does have a 5 or 6 foot cord, and my deal is I'm going to wire these two together. After I put this thing together for you guys, and we'll flip it on. I'll show you how bright the thing is. I was really surprised. I thought 2,000 lumen. These lights are 5,000 lumen, and I think the 5,000 lumen. I don't exactly understand the language. I was thinking that the 5,000 lumen was just like a comfortable light temperature, where the 4,000 lumen was more yellow, and then the 6,000 lumen was blue, as I indicated in one of my other videos. That must not be the case, because these are 2,000 lumen, and it's like looking at an arc welder. But it is not, of course, it's not going to be as outstanding as these 10,000 lumen or 15, you know, the really bright lights. Let me get this thing screwed in here. And see if I can get the thing turned on. Uh-oh, it's got a crossthread. What is the world is going on here? Got a crooked, dude. It doesn't feel right. I had the other one together real quick. Let me see if I can get in here. So I'm going to have to waste you guys' time. Oh, you know why? Because I'm putting it on backwards. Cheesy crazy. Here we go. A little nervous because I've tried to make a couple of videos and I had a couple of little issues trying to get this thing together, so I don't want to make a mistake, and I made a mistake. So that's as easy as it gets right there, you know. You put on one stinking leg, and it's kind of like the halogens, you know. The halogens I've got a couple of them upstairs, and let me show you how bright these are. Here we go. And this is crazy because, I mean, it's danger bright for me. What I'm going to be using it for is, like I say, shining down the engine bay. And I'm going to have it just far enough apart that I can have them over my shoulder, shining off of each side. And I think, just off the top of my head, that I'll be able to use the existing hardware and without it looking all cheeky. So yeah, it's going to be nice. My head's not going to be in the way to make shadows, and it'll be shining right down. I'll still have the tilt capability too. So let me I'm thinking with the addition of the trouble lamp, you know, I got a couple of drop lights and all that stuff, but for now these two circuits are blinding my eyes. I got spots. For these two circuits, I think this is going to work just fine. You can see what I've done here is utilize this mount. And I'm going to put, how am I going to do that? I forgot I was going to, I remember that I didn't want to hit this light, so anyway, I'll make it so I don't hit my light. It's going to be pointed out. It's going to be danger close to making contact. And like I say, this is going to be all adjustable later. But let me get this thing hooked up real quick so the video will be a little shorter, and we'll be back to you in a minute. Okay, so here we go. This is not the final product, don't get me wrong, but it's enough to get the video done. Like I say, I'm going to have these joined together in some form or fashion. I'll have a corded cord going down the middle, and then you can see that I've got them on either side, and I will not have the 500 watt, and this is kind of jinky looking right now, but I can make it just using the hardware you can remember that this was attached to the base, one of these things. Maybe I can even use this in some form or fashion later on, but I'll work that out. And what we're going to do is see what this is like. Of course, we will have the lights on when we're working, but I mean, it's not dramatic. It's not like it's not 5,000 lumens, but it's a nice light. And I'm not saying that to be appeasing myself either. I think that this is workable, especially without throwing a shoulder of somebody working right in the middle on trying to change spark plugs, or coming around to the side of the engine and trying to work inside. You can still have some good, decent LED, and there's no heat. That's the amazing thing. That feels like it feels like just nice. I mean, I can touch it. It's nothing. I wonder if the backsides are hot, because that's where they talk about the 3,000 lumen Huskies getting really warm. The thing I liked about the Huskies over this is on the back of the light, on the 3,000s. On the 3,000, not on the 5,000s. On the 3,000s, they had 120 volt 3-prong and a USB charging port on each light. And I thought that was pretty tricky. Nothing like that on this. Right now, like I say, I'll have to come up with some better way, but I'm just glad to see this thing's working well. Let me see. I'll just leave them on. There you go. Now all I gotta do is flip the light and they're on. And so I guess that's about it from my videographer wife helping me out and dealing with me, putting up with my short temper, because you know how mechanics get. You just can't get it right enough, fast enough. But I like it. It's pretty tricky. You know what I could even do is spread them out even further, because you can see it's plenty springy. I mean, it's not like it's going to fall off or anything. It's not enough weight up there or anything. So maybe I'll just experiment and see, because the problem I'm having is it's hitting the housing here. So I don't know. I'll address all that. But I think the first thing I need to do is either bite the bullet and get a $26 corded 5-foot cord, coil cord, and wire this all up and get it straightened out, because that's jacked up right there. So, but at least it works. And let me see if it'll drop down. Yeah, it's not going to fly for me. I'll have to figure out something. But you see what you can do. If you're intuitive enough, you just come up with a way for it to work. That's functional. You know, if I had to have a engine bay, and for $30 a piece, it could go a lot worse. I'm just wondering how long they'll last. But like I say, I'm going to be using them sparingly. There's no reason to have them on for any other reason than to be in an engine bay. Of course, you can use them for anything. You can use them for welding, and I could bring it. The tractor runs all the way back here. And what I want to do is be able to use it. That's an 8-foot track. So right now I'm using about 5 feet, maybe 4 feet of it. Anyway, that's the name of that tune right there, folks. Thanks for coming back and joining us, and thank my wife for helping me make this real. And good luck on your project. And I hope that you guys find that this Braun corded LED work light, 2,000 lumen, for $30 at Harbor Freight is enough to get you by without breaking the bank. You know, everything's on the cheap for me. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's a garage. If I was doing it in my house, I'd probably have all Lithonia and have all, you know, rather than furry strips. But you know what? It's a garage, and I don't care. I just want everything to be right. So that's right. That's right. See you later.